a woman from Bakutu, in the Belgian Congo, which is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in 1957. Sean Connery and Claudine Auger during the filming of the fourth film about the British super agent James Bond, Thunderball, 1965. This is about Alexander Graham Bell's first telephone. It's a World War I victory parade in Paris, France. There are German cannons and the year is 1919. The photo shows a dancer with an atomic blast behind her. This was taken in Nevada in 1950. It was the usual afternoon rush when the Red Cross lady and Captain Sterling S. Beardsley arrived to give out chocolate. This was at Base Hospital Saint-Denis in September of 1918. The family's taking a trip, and they're all packed into a Vauxhall Velox. Mom's at the wheel, Dad's next to her, and the kids are squished in the back. They're headed somewhere, maybe on holiday. German soldiers are shown decapitating a statue of Stalin in 1941. A United States Postal Service Ford Model T truck crashes into a tree. This happened in Boston in 1927. Bill Clinton was the 42nd President of the United States. He served from 1993 to 2001. He was a Democrat. At the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, Marine Honor Guards stand watch over the original Declaration of Independence, which was displayed at the base of the statue to commemorate Jefferson's bicentennial anniversary, April 13, 1943. Eleanor Roosevelt in Los Angeles, California. The first digital photo on the internet, 1992. Belle Starr, the infamous bandit queen of the West, lived a life entangled with outlaws and crime. The Lion of Munster, Clemens August Graf von Galen, a German count and Roman Catholic bishop who stood up to Hitler, around 1940. Members of the Ku Klux Klan prepare to fly to distribute their propaganda leaflets. It was March 18, 1922. Salvador Dali and his muse and wife Gala, 1945. It's an advertisement for a Suzuki Samurai. The location is Ventura, California, and the year is 1987. A West German man hoisted his son up so he could see the other side of the Berlin Wall. American veterans from World War II at Arlington National Cemetery in 1951. Workers of the Calumet and Hecla Mining Company in Michigan are getting ready for their long trip down into the copper mines to work in 1906. Until 1915, it was the deepest mine in the world, at 1,676 meters. It's a Kodachrome shot of post-war Bavaria, Germany from June 27, 1953. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, with some of his daughters, Olga, Maria, and Anastasia, sometime between the 1900s and the 1910s. Former King of Yugoslavia, Peter II, and his son wearing futuristic suits in England in 1950. A May Day demonstration on the streets of Tel Aviv in 1947. There's one of many young newsboys selling late at night in Jersey City, New Jersey in November 1912. She was the first woman to earn a doctorate in computer science in the United States in 1965. Prisoners at the camp in Wobbelin, Germany, 1945. Men are better than women. This advertisement for sweaters said wives were a bit of a drag on a mountain. Bessie Coleman was the first black woman to earn an international pilot's license in 1921. She trained in France after being denied entry to United States flight schools because of her race. Iggy Pop, John Waters, Quentin Tarantino, and Tim Burton in 1997. So this is about a creepy electric mask used to reduce wrinkles. The year was 1999. A nautical treadmill from 1953. Benedict Cumberbatch was in a school rugby team. Willy Brandt, the mayor of West Berlin and future chancellor of West Germany, is meeting with U.S. President John F. Kennedy at the White House. They're talking about the political situation of Berlin during the Cold War. It's March of 1961. This really striking black and white photograph captures a moment in 1950s fashion. It probably features models showing off haute couture designs, and it's by photographer Nina Lean. During a tour of Harlem with then-Mayor John Lindsay, Marlon Brando answers questions from reporters. This was in New York, 1968. A stunned crowd watches a pair of German shepherds ride a motorcycle with a sidecar in 1932. A woman's in a cabbage leaf costume. This was in Helidon, Northamptonshire, England, sometime in the late 19th or early 20th century. NASA astronauts relax aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, 1983. Girl Scouts are selling cookies in 1965. Alan Rickman, hanging from the perms to shoot his climactic scene for Die Hard, 1988. Richard Nixon's last lunch as president was pineapple, cottage cheese, and a glass of milk. That evening, he announced his intent to resign on national television. It was August 8, 1974. President Truman meets soldiers. The president is talking to a group of servicemen. There are several soldiers gathered around him. He's shaking hands with one of the soldiers. They appear to be in a large hall or auditorium. It looks like there are flags in the background. The soldiers are all wearing uniforms. Actor and martial arts star Jackie Chan at the benefit concert in Hong Kong, supporting the Tiananmen Square protesters in 1989. American strongman Ben Darwin demonstrates the power of his hair by moving a car weighing about 2.5 tons. This happened in New York in 1925. We're looking at Claudia Schiffer in the early days of her career, during the 1980s. Prince Charles, who is now King Charles III, is smoking with some Blackfeet chiefs in the summer of 1977. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, on September 3, Britain and France declared war on Germany, marking the official start of World War II. Salvador Dali in Venice. He's wearing a dark suit and he's holding a cane. He's standing next to a gondola. The gondola is in the water. There's a building in the background. It looks like a palace. Eric Clapton and Betty Davis, 1970. Female fighters from the Irish Republican Army. This was Ireland in 1971. Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd on the set of Dragnet, 1987. Wojtek the Bear stood at attention with the 22nd Artillery Supply Company of the Polish Army in May of 1942. German soldiers in North Africa are painting kill rings on the Flak 88. Everyone has a British roundel on it, along with what appears to be a date. This was in the early 1940s. It's 1915, and these are mobilized students from Eton College in England. In 1971, community and civil rights activist Ann Atwater was forced to work alongside Ku Klux Klan leader C.P. Ellis in Durham, North Carolina. By the end of their 10-day meetings, Ellis renounced the Klan and spent the rest of his life fighting for equality. A burlesque dancer entertains servicemen and other patrons while balancing a glass on her head at Leon Eddy's nightclub on 52nd Street in New York City in 1945. Salma Hayek at age 26, photographed by Juan Carlos Cuellar in Mexico City, 1992. Kids are in a telephone booth. Carmen Delarefis and Betsy Pickering for Harper's Bazaar. 1st Avenue and 23rd Street, New York, 1958. Williamson County, Illinois, October 1975. A sign warns about a recent escape of a prisoner from the Marion Federal Penitentiary. A policeman is directing traffic in London fog with a torch in 1935. All right, old school dentist equipment, Atlanta, 1959. Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart on the set of Sabrina, 1954. An experimental washing vacuum cleaner. This was in the United States in the 1950s. Paris, 1950. The Grand Magasin du Fayel in Paris, France, first opened in 1856. It was expanded several times between 1874 and 1913, becoming one of the largest department stores of the early 20th century. Martin Allen Feldman, born July 8, 1934, and passed away December 2, 1982, was a British actor, comedian, and writer. He was recognized for his noticeable, misaligned eyes. Jane Bolin, she was the first African-American female judge. Marseille in ruins, France, 1947. Young Bernie Sanders on the street campaigning for mayor of Burlington, Vermont in 1981. A smoking gentleman is using an acoustic coupler to send an email. He's doing it with a payphone. It's the early 1980s. Boston police arrested 3 teenagers for stealing and crashing a car in 1935. Folks diving from the Pont d'Iéna into the River Seine, with the Eiffel Tower in the background in Paris, France in 1945. The first Batmobile, Clément Ader with his steam-powered Éole in 1890. It's a sewing class at Western College in 1918. The lighting of the Olympic flame at the 1984 Winter Olympics took place in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia, which is now Bosnia. Victorian strongwoman, Lavery Valley, also known as Charmian. (1989) Mom helps son beat a difficult level in Super Mario Land on Game Boy. There's a Woman with a Plant. It's in Vienna in 1954. A man sits at the same spot his grandfather did in 1944 during World War II in Florence, Italy. Julia Child filming her cooking show, The French Chef, in 1963. The first official bikini, France, 1946. A Manchurian bride in her bridal clothes in 1870. Marlene Dietrich and her chauffeur Briggs on a lunch break from filming Shanghai Express in 1931. The Philippines during World War II in 1941. The 1st Women's Auxiliary Corps are training themselves at a rifle range in Manila. They're getting ready for guerrilla warfare against the Japanese occupation. A Russian woman is standing on a command variant of a T-72K main battle tank during the Soviet coup attempt by hardliners of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union in Moscow. This happened around August 18th to 22nd, 1991. A portrait of a Muslim ascetic or fakir from East Bengal during the 1860s. Circus strongman Stefan is demonstrating his strength. He's towing a motor car with his teeth through the streets of Berlin. The year was 1925. After the Wall Street bombing of 1920, although anarchists were suspected, nobody was ever convicted. Germany in 1936. British policewomen in the 1920s faced a challenging environment. They were few in number, often viewed with skepticism by male colleagues. Initially, their duties were limited. They mainly dealt with women and children and were not allowed to make arrests. By the late 1920s, their roles slowly began to expand, though they still fought for recognition and equal opportunities within the force. Vampira at Halloween, 1952. Angry Indonesians burn cars and loot Chinese shops in Jakarta on May 14, 1998. Hollywood legend Jane Mansfield, the 1950s. Wallace Simpson and Prince Edward met with Adolf Hitler in October 1937. A flag-waving veteran of the Red Army is confronting an anti-communist protester in Moscow around 1990. September 13, 1922, the Straw Hat Riot begins in New York City. In 1944, the Orwitz family, a group of 7 little people, were kept prisoners in Auschwitz concentration camp. They survived because they became the pet project of Joseph Mengele, who kept them separated to study them better. Winston Churchill, General Sir Bernard Montgomery, and his dog. There's a wanted poster for Jesse James from 1881. It would be worth $150,000 today. A lady in a fancy dress from the 1910s in an autochrome shot. This facial massager is from a 1971 Montgomery Ward catalog. It's a facial massager. A snow sculpture competition took place in Davos, Switzerland in 1914. Atomic gardening was a fad from the 1950s to the mid-1960s. This technique of mutation breeding involves exposing plants to radiation to induce genetic changes, some of which are beneficial. Britney Spears at the Teen Choice Awards, 1999. Hats are neatly hung in a pool room. This is New York in 1943. Eminem with his rap group D12 in the 1990s. In 1955, there were teddy girls hanging out around a bombed London. Alfred Hitchcock is at home with his Sealyham Terrier, Mr. Jenkins, in 1939. Tomiko Kawabata is sitting in her car, checking out her brand new Sony portable television. The built-in battery lets her run the 8-inch or 20-centimeter display for 3 hours. This was on January 5th, 1960. This is an ad for Mortal Kombat. There's a tagline that says, "Welcome to Mortal Kombat." Then the ad states, "Experience the next evolution of the iconic fighting game franchise." It mentions that there are all new characters and fan-favorite characters. There is a cinematic story campaign. The ad promises up to 70 fighters and states that there is a new game modes. It says that players can customize your favorite fighters. Lastly, the ad has a call to action saying pre-order now. Norma Jean Baker, 1946. It's a match between Jose Raul Capablanca and Alexander Alekhine from 1913. Pablo Escobar and his son Juan are posing in front of the White House in the 1980s. A strong man is performing a feat of strength in Paris around 1925. Velma Barfield in her cell at Central Prison in Raleigh, 1984. There's a man with skin that's like elastic. This is from the 1900s.